Shri Guru Gauranga Radha Sham Sundar Giridhari Ju Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai. Welcome everybody to our Sunday afternoon talk. We broadcast every Sunday from East London branch, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math London chapter. And today we have very special guests with us. Srila Bhakti, Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj, and he's here for one more day in London, so we're very happy that he could come here, and we want to hear some Hari Katha from him, His Holiness. And he has a short time before he has to join a Zoom at 1 p.m.
Hare Krishna. So, dear devotees, if there is no earthquake, it's all right. We're just settling in. Looking like earthquake. Hare Krishna. So, dear devotees, we are happily here. Okay, as you're working this out. Anyway, we're happily here. And some of us have been in traffic, and some of us came on the metro and thinking how luxurious the metro is. And actually thinking like a flight. Because we got on the metro one end, and then after 1 hour you get off like a 1 hour flight from the other side. So the metro is very gentle. Anyway, we came here, and then we came to the temple, and actually we started at 11 o'clock, and we listened to a whole talk of Srila Gurudev. Like a luxury to sit and listen to a whole talk of Gurudev here. And in the temple where Gurudev came so often, 20 his world tours, but not that it was each world tour. Hare Krishna! Here is, looks like a sportsman coming in, a sporting.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Guru. So we listened to a lecture of Srila Gurudev very happily, and talk of Srila Gurudev very happily. And then we chanted the pranam mantras, and with the pranam mantras today, the Vandanam, then we chanted for Srila Guru Maharaj when we came to Guru Maharaj. We chanted what is in the songbook there, the Shri Sarupa Rayarupa Jiva Bhava Samsram, these 3 slokas which are on page 307 of the songbook used here in the temple. And then we've been chanting since then, and this means we chanted the Sad Goswami Ashtakam, Hare Krishna. And then, so that's Ashtakam, 8 compositions, which are about the 6 Goswamis. And then we chanted the Shikshastakam, the instruction, 8 verses of instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So here we are, we're having the Sunday regular program in the company of the devotees, and 14 devotees have come or are on their way from West London, but there is traffic. There is traffic on the way. So anyway, we are here, and it's the first time, primero, you come here, and you also. So we hope that we'll get a Spanish guide to guide you around the ashram presently. And the perfect Spanish guide will be Ishanuga Devirasi. She knows everything about the ashram because she's got very good connections. Devashis prabhu and Saraswati. Husband is Devashis prabhu, and sister is Saraswati. And so Ishanuga can show you around the ashram. But this room here has seen hundreds and thousands of devotees gathered for the welcoming and the hearing Harikatha from Gurudev. So don't think it's a small room. It's what has taken place here has reached hundreds of thousands. And here and upstairs you will see too. And since Gurudev has been here, and in the last few years, year by year, then not only maintenance but improvement, upgrading of the temple and the facilities, and Devashis will be taking much care. And really this is a pilgrimage place for coming to the place of distribution in London, which was so dear to Gurudev, the distribution of Guru Maharaj's message. And so it is when we can come here, it is a place to absorb something that the walls will share to us, because the walls and everything here has been in that vibration. And you can see how much noise you can make in a small room. And amazingly, the neighbors, they are happy to have, even when you've got 3 loud mridanga players and all kinds of kirtan going on until midnight even for Janmashtami and after midnight, then the neighbors are happy. And I'm thinking, oh, the neighbors, they must be disturbed. But then one day, Devashis, she said to me, oh, please, you see their sign outside, these cars parked here. I said, oh, you see the sign, and move it, and then move it back after I move it back. So I'm standing outside, moving back. And then the neighbor in the shop came out, and I don't know what she's going to say, and she comes and gives me a donation. I think, okay, that's like very pious, very pious. So anyhow, Srila Gurudev, he's been here, and there was a cafe here, or you'll hear all about it, called Ken's Cafe, but it's now not, oh no, it's, but opposite now, somebody with graffiti has written, Ken's Cafe, R.I.P., rest in peace. And I'm told it wasn't any of our devotees, but Gurudev used to look out of the window, we are told. And we are happy to look out of the window and think of Gurudev seeing there and watching the people go in and come out. And anyway, Gurudev's personality, people came to see, and not only see, but to feel and to understand his heart. And this is a special place for that. Hare Krishna. Yes, please come in. Thank you, space to see. So anyhow, we are all trying to follow some regular program. If we get proper nourishment, we can stay healthy. If we don't get proper nourishment in the material world, we become sick. If we don't get proper nourishment in the spiritual world, we become sick. We become sick. So here in the temple, it is just the same as being in any other temple where we have like the morning program, evening program, and the kind of songs that bring happiness to Gurudev, bring happiness to Guru Maharaj. And these are the songs which essentially are in the songbook. And he gave also the structure of what is like a perfect day. What is a perfect day? Get up early in the morning, before Mangalarti, bathe, chant your Gayatri, chant some japa, come to the morning program, the puja, the songs as given by standard is the framework for our singing in the morning. The reading, so we're reading. And then this way we have some nourishing program. If we don't have our breakfast, we don't have lunch, we don't have dinner, we're going to get weak and sick. And so the same way, if we don't have our spiritual nourishment, we'll get sick or weak or this, that and that. So here's a perfect place to come and be able to practice Krishna consciousness. And in East London, there could be a queue going down the street. And during the time of COVID, I really thought that people would come. And there would be a queue outside every temple. But yes, now we know you've got something here, some solution. All of this COVID stuff, people are dying, relatives are dying, businesses, money, people lost their businesses, this, that, and the other. And I was surprised that there wasn't a queue down the street when people, because so many people know about Krishna consciousness, so many people know this temple exists. Maybe last year or the year before, I was coming here and on the metro, and nobody had told me about TFL, the application on the metro. Then Devashis enlightened me. TFL is all-knowing. It knows where the breakdown is or where the work is on the metro, and so it tells you how to get around it. But one day the metro is closed, and I'm thinking how to come here. And I asked some people, Then I get on the bus, and then I ask the driver, and he saw me, and he said, "Oh, you're going to Green Street?" "Yes, I'm going to Green Street." And then I didn't know also where the Green Street stop was. And then he said, "It's okay, I know where is the ashram on Green Street, and I'll drop you." You know, he's driving a double-decker bus. The driver, he knows the temple. So lots of people know that you're here. But after all, you've been here now for 15 years, is it? No, 20?
96, wasn't it, when we came in?
Oh, 96. 30 years. So what's next year's?
Next year is 40 years when Radha Shamsundar was installed.
Next year is 40 years. Radha Shyamasundar installed, and before that, Giriraj is here perhaps.
Well, we weren't here, we were in London, but
Okay.
we began with Giriraj,
Yes.
and then later Mahaprabhu came, and then the year after Mahaprabhu came, then Radha Shamsundar came.
And so here in 466 Green Street?
No, that
How
was
long
in,
have you been here?
since 96.
Since 96. 24 plus 4. 28. So 28 years. So within 28 years, been lots of Hare Krishna sound vibration and devotees coming here. So many people know. But anyway, there weren't queues of people during COVID. What will wake up the world, I don't know. But by the way, the audio that we heard, means the recording, we heard Gurudev speaking mystically, word for word, from, don't know when, quite a long time ago, today, here. And Gurudev was really trying to wake us up to the fortune of our connection with Guru Maharaj and Guru Maharaj's message. And that's why Gurudev traveled the world, that's why he did everything he did in service to Guru Maharaj, to bring his message, to bring the message of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur to the Western world. And that message was brought from Srila Saraswati Thakur, which was brought by him, by Srila Bhakti, Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj, and Srila Guru Maharaj prepared Srila Prabhupada for his preaching, and Srila Guru Maharaj prepared, as we know, Srila Gurudev in every aspect. And so we've got our opportunity to do something good with this life, so let us not be lazy and let us not fall into the whirlpool of unfortunate circumstances by criticizing devotees, by going into all sorts of isms and diverting from the whole purpose of what Mahaprabhu and Gurudev gave. And that is that we need Krishna consciousness and to encourage everybody everywhere. And what have we got? We've got 3 Paramahamsas, which everybody is drawing to come and hear the message of the Lord and be connected in service. And so they are either our parents or our grandparents, or now also great-grandparents in some cases, or even then great-great-grandparents, right? As the generations go on. So anyhow, here we are, and we're happy to be here. We've already had a morning program in many ways, and the morning program will continue, and Devashis will look after everyone. I've got my call, it's already coming in to go up and prepare, and then we'll be meeting other people from this temple, so we will also be spreading some news from here and about here. And I think Ishanu will later on, she'll show you all around and tell you all the history. Then you can share that with others too. So, to all the devotees, continue, don't worry about me, keep on chanting the glories of the holy name. As Shukra, I'm imitating, of course, Shukadeva Goswami. Shukadeva Goswami at the end of Srimad Bhagavatam said, don't worry about me, I'm fine, in that sense. But please, you all go on chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, and I shall leave you here with Devashis Prabhu, and we are happy to represent and share and everything those who can give Krishna consciousness. We were the assistant secretary to Guru Maharaj, as secretary to Gurudev, and we are very happy to to present those who can give Krishna consciousness, headed by Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. And here in London you've got Devashis who can give you them and give you Krishna consciousness. Do not underestimate him. We are always saying this, Devashis, you know, and we want that they will hear from you now. So now, opportunity to continue our reading. Maybe with you later, maybe not. Then now I'm going on to Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhishta vipra sindhubhya eva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. And just a moment more. I was never here in London with Gurudev. We were arranging the tours and then he was coming out. But we felt like we were here with him by all the news from the devotees and the news from Gurudev himself when he was coming back to India and telling so many things that go on. So even the very first time I came here, we just felt completely at home, and very much means completely in a Gurudev's home. So here we are, you are all in a special place in the world, and definitely a special place in London. Gaur Penandi, Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.
Please excuse Amit Kashchi.
Hare Krishna. All right, so many thanks, Maharaj, for your encouraging words. We are very happy that you could be with us today.
We are encouraged to be here.
Thank you.
And is this the same carpet Gurudev walked on?
No.
Oh dear. It's the Pratibhu carpet, the replacement carpet. Same as the original. Okay, got to go. Have a good day.
All right, Maharaj, we'll see you shortly.
Govinda. Yes.
So, my apologies to everyone. It's back to me. And we, as you may have noticed, we started our program a little early today because Maharaj was with us, and I knew that he has to, a Zoom meeting with other devotees from around the world at 1 o'clock. So we wanted that everyone would get to hear something from him. As normal now, every Sunday at this time we've been going through the seminal books of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, founder Acharya of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, and on from his English talks, Srila Sridhar Maharaj said, "I was born to preach Krishna consciousness in the English language." So we find that his presentation is very heart capturing, and in the words of Srila Govinda Maharaj, one word from Guru Maharaj can make us his slave forever. So we really feel that. We really feel that his unique presentation of Krishna consciousness can help us immensely. That such high conception, he is able to condense into a very understandable form that we can benefit from, that we can easily understand and find most palatable. So we've been going through all of those books, and at the moment we're on the Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion for volume 4, which is currently out of print, but we have a photocopy copy here, and this is chapter 4. It's called With Sincerity to Safety. So this is Srila Sridhar Maharaj speaking. Pure means God interested. In one's innate nature, God's interest is present. Only God's interest is the innate tendency, and when that is uncovered, we can see everything as it is. There, everything is doing the service of the Absolute, and everything is all right. The only anomaly arises when we want to see the Absolute as my servant, or I want to non-cooperate with him, bhukti mukti spriha. These are two kinds of misconception, but really, everything is meant for serving him. And I am also a servant included within that jurisdiction. I am a servant. My duty is to use myself cent per cent to serve him. Service is truth. Service not of the nation or society or land or country, but service of the Absolute. That is truth. Only misconception has come to deviate us from that vision and so cause our suffering. It is something like disease. We are attacked by a disease of exploiting tendency or renouncing tendency. The duty of every jiva soul is to be an inseparable organic unit to serve and to work for the interest of the organic whole. That is the basic idea. Then someone asks a question. Does each unit have an eternal relationship with the whole, which is not the same as that of another unit? Guru Maharaj replies, excuse me. They are individuals, but in consonance. There is some sympathetic relationship between them. There are groups also according to the nature of service. Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya and Madhurya. There are so many groups and they are sympathetic. Sometimes they also may be fighting with the opposition, but that is also service. So, sympathetic, Guru Maharaj says sympathetic. He doesn't mean that they feel sorry for them, like sympathy, like that. But sympathetic in the musical term, sympathy in the musical term. So in a classical Indian instrument, they have the main strings. They also have what are called sympathetic strings. So when they pluck one string, the sympathetic strings, they vibrate in consonance with the main strings. So that's what Guru Maharaj says, that in sympathy means they're all in consonance with each other, vibrating together, without any separate interest. So completely harmonious. Then somebody says, can you explain further of what you mentioned recently, that in the devotee's quest to become pure, he must go through numerous situations where he is accepting something higher and rejecting something lower, eliminating the lower conception and accepting the higher conception? So Guru Maharaj is replying. There are different stages of that misunderstanding, different strata. Sadhana means progress, which means eliminating something and inviting something higher. In this way, the process is there, and that may be quick in a certain case and slow in another. It may be slow or rapid, but we are to pass through different stages according to the intensity of our illusion. And question, what is the determining factor as to whether we pass through such a stage slowly or quickly? Guru Maharaj replies, that will depend upon the sukriti and the satsanga. There will be some conscious help and some previous underground help. Agyata sukriti is when unconsciously unknown benefit has come to me, whereas gyata sukriti is when consciously some benefit comes. Through the association of the sadhu, the saint, and that sadhu also may be of different types. And they question, I don't understand. The sadhu may be of different types? Then Guru Maharaj says, there are different types of sadhus. We have freedom of cooperation and association with a particular section, and the outcome of that depends also on the quality of whom we associate with. Question. So spiritual life is one where we are accepting a new concept and eliminating old concepts? Sridhar Maharaj. There is classification of misconception. Bur, Bhava, Swa, Mahajana, Tapa, and Satya. There is so much gradation within the plane of misconception. And within that, there are so many subdivisions, such as insects, trees, animals, etc. But at the same time, we shall think that a tree might have advanced in the nirguna, whereas a man may not. Misconception may be so hopelessly peculiar in a man that it will take time to cure him. At the same time, the mental system of a tree or an animal may be more advanced towards service, though its present situation is very lamentable. Question. Does the acceptance and elimination of concepts include sadhu sangha, that we accept and eliminate there also? Guru Maharaj. Yes. In sadhu sangha there are so many considerations. The type of sadhu, the cooperating tendency, also the backing of previous sukriti. There are many things to be taken into the calculation. Abhistanam tata karta karanam cha pratag vidhan. Vidham eva pratag chesta daivam chaivarta panchamam. This is from Bhagavad Gita. With the help of these 5 factors, all actions are effected. The body, the ego in the form of the knot of spirit and matter, the separate senses, the different endeavors and destiny, or the intervention of the Supreme. Universal controller. It is not that just one incident is the cause, but there are so many circumstantial things coming together that cause a particular event. Any event is the combination of many things. His free will, his previous background, his present association, his nature, all these things have got their contribution for his progress. Circumstance can contribute much. It is not limited only to the free will of the man who wants progress. Question. What about Vaishnava aparad, offences to the devotees? Srila Maharaj. If that is underground, that will vehemently oppose his progress. In a particular circumstance, many things may be more or less important that will arrest or help his progress. Question. One cannot say which factor is more important because each situation is different? Srila Guru Maharaj. It is generally told that when one has come to such a position that he accepts the Vaishnava as all in all, then the ordinary duties to the worldly environment will lose their importance. At that stage, the importance should be given to the finer circumstances relating to where I am really wanting to enter into. The sympathy or apathy of those who are in power will have much effect, whereas the sympathy and apathy of those in a lower position will be of less value. This is natural common sense. And in this case, sympathy means how they feel to disposed towards somebody. Sympathy or apathy. I may want progress, but if the higher officials are not sympathetic, then that will be a great hindrance. But if the lower people who are under me have some complaint, then that will not matter much. So Vaishnava and Vishnu will be given the highest consideration, and I must take care not to commit any offences, and not to incur any displeasure from them. Our extra attention should be given to that. Question. Is the guru-disciple relationship above this acceptance and elimination progress? Srila Sridhar Maharaj. Sometimes we may see this happen, but that is the most unfortunate thing ever that one may have to forego. If any wrong is found in whom I want to depend foremost, then that will be a great misfortune and setback. The greatest setback is to eliminate Guru, but to be sympathetic with our Gurudev, and after his departure, if we take help of the closer association, then that is not to dismiss the Guru. Rather, that will help us to serve more our Gurudev. After the departure of Guru, I shall try to get the help of those who are of a higher type. Therefore, I could get help from any of his friends. Then, of course, that is not bad. Rather, that is good, because I am getting impetus to make more progress more quickly. And my progress will not be checked for want of any favorable advice about the way and means. The danger arises when Guru is alive and for any reason I am to leave him. That is, of course, a very dangerous thing, and there also we find the relative consideration and the absolute consideration going side by side. When they are going side by side, the absolute consideration must get the upper hand. We may be misguided, and so it is easy to change the Guru from non-Vaishnava to Vaishnava, from Saguna to Nirguna. But in the Nirguna Vivek, in the same plane, if we are to change Guru during the lifetime of the Guru, then that we must consider as a grave and serious thing. Sometimes such a disaster may fall on some disciple. So that isn't the same as when people come here. We often have people, I have a guru from my village or so on. But they may not be Vaishnav guru. Or they may be Vaishnav guru, but not in the line of Rupanuga line. So if they then accept a Rupanuga guru, that is not the same as rejecting a guru. That is just, from, as Guru Maharaj says, from Saguna to Nirguna. From non-Vaishnava to Vaishnava. There are also the so-called Vaishnav gurus who have left the proper line, but who profess themselves to be in the Vaishnava school. They came perhaps with some sincerity, but became influenced by bad association, and so they changed their faith. They are very complicated things, but differentiation is possible. And when it is clearly differentiated that such an unfortunate situation exists, then the disciple must take certain steps. It is possible also that broken-hearted one may take the risk of giving up the possibility of making any progress in this life. Without progress, broken-hearted, he lives thinking, my choice has been wrong, and my attempt in this life has been thwarted, and that is my misfortune. However, at least seeking the help of the Supreme Lord, I shall have some hope that in my next life I may find that real thread of progress. But there may be someone of strong understanding who can change his path from here to there. Especially this may be so if any incidental ignorance has covered him for the time being, and that has now passed away so that he can see clearly what is what. He may consider, I have purchased a through ticket, but when making some progress I have come to understand that there are some hindrances on the line. Therefore, from this juncture, I can accept another train on another line in order to go where there is no danger. If it becomes clear that ahead there is some danger, then although a ticket was purchased to go through on this line, the necessity then arises to get down from that train at a junction and accept another line to reach the goal. It is quite possible this consideration may arise if things occur in such a way. Alternatively, someone may consider that he has purchased a ticket and therefore he must go on along that line. But the absolute consideration is that I want to go to that destination and I am going for that purpose. So if on the way I am to find that there is some difficulty, then I am to change my course. This is common sense. Partha naiveha namutra vemana tasya vidyate nahi kalyanakrit kaschid durgatim tatagachati. For one who is sincere in his activity, he need not be afraid of anything, because the Lord is the guide. Through Gurudev also the inner guide is he. By his direction all these things are being done. The final touch of hand is with the Supreme. There is also the consideration of association, Sangha. Suppose I purchased a ticket and am going smoothly towards the destination, but some asat sangha, some bad association comes to me. Some mischief monger or some ignorant person may say, no, there's danger ahead, so let us get down. I may be influenced by that falsely. This also may happen, that by bad association sometimes someone may be led to reject a good guru. Also it may happen that I have purchased my ticket, but there comes some doubt. I am perplexed, and I get down. But ultimately I see that I have done wrong, that I have committed a great wrong. That also may be. Anyhow, our sincere hankering after the truth will come to our rescue, and that sincerity of hankering depends again on pasukriti. The type and the quality of help that was injected into me in my unconscious stage will come to help me always. From the background that will come to dictate to me, do this, do this. Sincerity is necessary. Any event is a combination of many things, but those that are sincere, that are eager to help their own self, really, they cannot be misguided for long. That should be our solace and our consolation. If I do not like to be a party to deceive myself, then none can deceive me in this world. That fairness of mind one should have, because the vigilant eye of the Absolute is always there. We must have such confidence and such faith that the vigilant eye of the Supreme is everywhere. I may not see that, but he is my best friend, and only I want to come to him, and he knows it. So to whom I am going, he is looking at everything, although I may not. The Absolute is the absolute possibility. The finite is to go to meet the infinite. It is the most audacious, the most impossible thing, and we are going to make it possible by our inner urge. Our inner urge, that is everything. Question. So the calculating mentality may not be our best friend. Srila Maharaj replies. It may not be of great help. Of course, we cannot avoid calculation when we are in a certain stage, but still we should know that the calculative mentality may not be of much help ultimately. Prayer is more powerful to seek the help of the highest to whom I am trying to go. If I seek his help, then he will send some agent to me. If I should get such an agent on my side along the way, then I will be more secure in my progress. Prayer and Sharanagati. Prayer reaches to him only when we surrender. But calculation may be of the nature of self-analysis. Here I have nothing, I have no power, so how can I be lifted? My knowledge and my judgment are futile and have got no power. My free will, my judgment, my everything is so meager. So how can it come in contact and make some progress regarding the infinite? This is impossible. In this way, self-analysis will take us to surrender. Surrender and prayer will be of primary importance to any spiritual student. Sharanagati means surrender. As much as we make surrender towards Him, our prayer will be genuine. When I shall see myself as clearly helpless, then only will my prayer be substantial, and then the help will come accordingly. On the whole, there is only one most important factor: sadhu sangha. So many things are all interdependent, but first importance is to be given to sadhu sangha. But sadhu sangha is also affected by the results of so many previous events. So many things are all interdependent, but still some points have been given more stress. More importance has been given to firstly sadhu sangha, then shastra, then sharanagati, then prayer. Though many things are there, a complex and interdependent interhelp, but still, if we are to select some principal thing for our help, the first thing will be sadhu sangha, association with those more advanced than myself. And next importance will be given to the shastra, the scripture, the advice of the great sadhus. With these two, we shall take practical steps in Sharanagati. Sharanagati is real when it is sincere, and sincerity means I am helpless. By self-analysis, I am helpless. As much as I consider myself to be helpless, my prayer to the Lord will be accordingly intense, and the help from that side will come to that degree. Sangha means serving attitude, not physical contact, but serving. Higher things can be contacted only through the relationship of serving tendency, not otherwise. Question: therefore, is prayer a more benedicting activity? Guru Maharaj: prayer also should be pure. O Lord, give me my bread is also a prayer. And another type of prayer is, please save me. I do not know what is my real interest. Please enlighten me. There are so many different types of prayer, and how we pray is determined by our association and our spiritual advice. Question: is praying for the revelation of the Absolute more important than glorification of the Absolute? Srila Guru Maharaj: yes. Please, you reveal within me what truth is. Who am I? Where am I? What is my goal of life? And how to reach there? Why am I suffering? I do not know how to get out of this miserable life. So please help me. I do not know, but only I can guess that you are goodness, ecstasy, and happiness. I want you. I am much tired of my present situation. I cannot tolerate it any longer. Please take me up. Question: should that type of prayer be given more importance and stressed more than the glorification of the Absolute? Well, that's the previous question. Anyway, Srila Guru Maharaj, the prayer to the highest degree that we find is, I want your connection. You may utilize me. You may think me to be yours, and keeping me in your connection, utilize me according to your sweet will. I have no particular claim nor aspiration that I must attain this or that, but only I want to be your faithful servant, and so you please utilize me in any way you like. Only that inseparable connection with you I want. I am your slave. I want to be your slave. Your connection I want, your sincere connection. and you know best what connection that is. I do not know what is what, but you know what is best. Only consider me as your own and utilize me. That should be the nature of our prayer. Question: should we have a desperate mood? Guru Maharaj, desperate? That will depend on the particular disciple. As much sure a conception he gets of his high prospect, he becomes desperate to that degree. Surrender means to be desperate. Whatever may come, let it come, but I surrender to you. I have got such confidence in you. I am surrendering to you, and if any revolting forces of the environment come to attack me, then I am to tolerate that. An example is Prahlad Maharaj, who received so much tortures, even from his so-called near relative, his father. There are several similar examples. If you are Sharanagata, surrendered to him, then you may have to suffer many things because of that. And if you don't become desperate, then you will have to come back. With a desperate mentality, you are to tolerate all the tortures that will come against you, and still you won't budge an inch from your path of progress. That must be. We must be prepared for any injury in any event. Anything may come, known or unknown, supposed or unsupposed. Anything may come, but we are to remain strong in our position, fixing our eye on him. It is worth suffering from all types of pain. To stand, because I am standing for the truth, will be my solace. Even in political matters, we find that when one is made captive, he must be prepared for any sort of torture. Perhaps for earning money, the spy is also working by wandering in the enemy's land. But if detected, he may have to face all kinds of torture. No risk, no gain. If for the truth, if for my endeavor to meet the truth, so many opposing forces revolt against me, then what to do? I shall stand with my head erect. I am not doing anything wrong. At the same time, like Christ, one should pray, O Father, they know not what they do. Forgive them. They do not know what wrong things they are doing to me. Forgive them. Prahlad Maharaj's advice that whatever adverse circumstances may come to disturb us, we should try to not only see them as opposing and undesirable, but we are required to see them as quite befitting. It should come and is coming through the will of my good, well-wishing Lord. Very kindly he is sending these apparently unfavorable things to me, but here is his grace. We shall try to read positive sympathy in the pain and not only negative opposition. One thing to note is that nothing can come without his sanction. So it is coming to me with his sanction. There can be no spirit of retaliation in him. Therefore the pain has come for some purpose, to purify me. This positive end is there. He is trying to finish that bad consequences of my previous actions. I would otherwise have had to undergo the bad consequences of my actions for a long time to come, but perhaps he is making that intense in order to be finished within a very short time. Therefore, it is his grace. If with this attitude we can face the danger that surrounds us, then very easily we are released from all such opposing forces. When the mother is punishing her child, affection is in the background. There is no spirit of retaliation, rather there is the spirit of affection. She wants to correct me, but when the child takes the attitude, yes, more punishment is required, mother. I have done so many misdeeds. More punishment is necessary for me. Then the mother will release him very soon. Oh, he has understood that he did wrong, so he should be released now. The result of punishment is reached, and so the punishment should be withdrawn. So whenever the opposing environment comes to pain us, we should see with such a vision that it is the benevolence of the Lord that he has sent this suffering to me to correct me, to release me very soon perhaps. I am inviting you. Yes, you come. You are my friend. In the garb of an enemy, you are my friend. You have come to release me very soon, so I welcome you. You are coming because without my Lord's sanction, nothing can happen. So when you have come surely for my benefit. So I welcome you. If with this attitude you can embrace unfavorable circumstances, then very soon you will get liberation from the clutches of Maya. At the same time, it is necessary to show one's gratitude to the Lord. How kind you are! You have managed to clear my debt from my previous life in so short a time. You are so gracious. So I show my obeisance to you, my Lord. You are so gracious to me. You are trying to finish the reactions of the long-standing misdeeds of my past life, which could take birth after birth infinitely to clear. But that has been finished within a few hours. So I bow down so faithfully, my faithful obeisance to you, my Lord. With this attitude, he gets relief immediately. This is the key to success. Question. What should be the conception of the devotee when the Guru is chastising him? Should he understand that to be for his benefit? Guru Maharaj. Yes. Mahaprabhu says that when the Guru is chastising, he is considering the disciple to be his own. He has got much affection, but when he is indifferent, then he has kept the disciple at a respectable distance and has not accepted him closely. When the Guru is punishing, then that is a great fortune. One can think, the vigilant eye of Gurudev is over me, and he cannot tolerate anything wrong in me. So that is very rare, a great fortune, a great prospect of my life, that his vigilant eye is there, so that nothing wrong can attack me and take me down. He is there. That the Guru is giving punishment presupposes that his guardian's eye is watching over the disciple. So that should be considered a great fortune. In the last shloka of his Shikastakam, Mahaprabhu also says how the standard of attachment should be of the devotee towards the Lord. Here, of course, it is mentioned about Krishna, but we will find this similar relationship between disciple and Guru. Ashlishava padaratam pinashtuma, adarshana marma hatam karotava, jata tatava vidhatu lampato, matprana natas tu swaeva napara. Krishna may adore me, but although I think I am holding fast his holy feet, he may also throw me away or trample me down. Furthermore, the next alternative may come that he may be indifferent. He's not coming to punish me, but he may be indifferent. He doesn't care for me. I am nothing to him. He has eliminated me from his camp, and that is more dangerous. He may also be embracing others, showing his affection to others while ignoring me. What one day I expected to have from him, the others are enjoying, and I am deprived from that. All this show may take place before my very eyes, but still I have no other alternative than to hold fast to his feet, to hold his holy legs very fast. I have no other alternative, because he is all in all to me. This sort of adherence to him we shall try to maintain. I have no other alternative but his favour. He may show me his favour, he may not. In different stages he may deal with me in different ways. He may show his apathy to me, but still I have no other alternative. I am to tolerate all the apathetic eventualities. That is the nature of the tie between the man and the master. That tie is invulnerable, it's inseparable, eternal, and if cut, that separation may not even be imagined. Such closer and natural connection we have got with the absolute good. We cannot even conceive of anything other than our connection with him, and that is the eternal conception. We are to go on in the eternal plane, and we are to find out our eternal contact, the finite connection with the infinite, the man and the master, the Lord and the servant. In this way, it is inconceivable, but inconceivably true. That sort of connection with the Supreme we shall try to find out, and that is the greatest importance of our existence. Separate existence is not possible. That connection with him is there, only we forgot that. That is the trouble. And in the process of forgetfulness, and in the degree of forgetfulness, everything becomes an anomaly. All the anomalies can be confined in this single misunderstanding. The whole anomaly exists only by this misunderstanding. There we are. What do we think about that? Do we like that? Should we like that? Whether we like it or not, it is what it is. There's Srila Gurudev very rarely chastised anybody. Only his very close servants, because they can take it. Gurudev's thinking is, if I chastise him and he goes away, then what will be the good in that? So also he said, I don't very often ask my disciples to do any particular service, because if I order them and they don't do that, then that's guru aparad, and that's very unfortunate for them to commit guru aparad. So then better I don't ask them anything. Let them come. And we saw that. Gurudev was always like that. But there were those he could ask, and those he could chastise. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj similarly. So when we came to Guru Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, that time his secretary was Bhadrinarayan Prabhu. But he's a devotee from Canada. And he came there. And so after some time, Guru Maharaj gave him the service to be his secretary. So on the first few days, one of the main activities of his secretary was to answer correspondence. So then he's sitting with Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj says, okay, so you read the letters to me, and I'll dictate a reply to those letters. They had a bunch of letters, and he said, you'll need something to write on. So Bhadrinarayan Prabhu, he goes into Guru Maharaj's room, finds some bundle of papers there, this will do. There's writing on the front, but not on the back. So I'll just turn over and write on the back, He can't read what it is because it's all in Bengali or whatever, Sanskrit or whatever. So he comes out and he's sitting ready to, answer. And Guru Maharaj can't see anything practically. His eyesight was so bad that to read something you would have to put it this close to his face. So, but he can't read anything, but then he said, he can't see anything. But then he says to Bhadrinarayan Prabhu, what is that paper you're going to write on? And he said, I found in your room this, paper. Then Guru Maharaj says, show me. He brings it to Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, automatically he understands what it is, right? So then he said, call Govinda Maharaj immediately. Becoming furious now. And then suddenly, Srila Govinda Maharaj is pounding up the stairs. Guru Maharaj, what happened? Guru Maharaj saying, you don't love me, you don't care for me, you don't look after my things. What is this? And he shows the paper to Guru Maharaj, to Gurudev, gives him this paper. And he says, Gurudev says, it's your original draft of Premadama Deva Stotra. And yes, you see, you don't care about my things, you don't look after me, you don't love me. And he's like really chastising him. But really that chastisement was for Bhajanarayan. But he knows he can't take it. He won't be able to, he'll be at the gate, gone. So then he gives that beating to Srila Govinda Maharaj, who happily accepts that. Guru Maharaj, Gurudev was always eager to be punished by Guru Maharaj. Sometimes when Guru Maharaj was angry with him, and he wants to beat Gurudev, and Gurudev's like coming closer to him. He said, "Why are you coming closer?" And Gurudev said, "You don't know how to beat. Maharaj, you have to be close to someone to beat them properly. You don't know, like you're slapping, but you don't know. I'm coming closer so you can properly beat me." And we saw that. We also saw the opposite of that. At Srila Govinda Maharaj, when he was younger, and he perceived that somebody, I don't know the circumstances, but he perceived that somebody had made some very unforgivable offense to Guru Maharaj. And he became so angry that he planned, I'm going to kill this person. And he said, I know where I can buy a gun to do that, or I can get a gun. And then he said, I thought, so if I'm going to kill him, there's a few others on the list that I should take out at the same time. And so then he devised this thing, right, that this person he'll kill first, then he'll go here to this one, and then here to that one. And he's thinking, I may be able to get all of these before the police arrive and kill me, So this was his plan. And Guru Maharaj could see that Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj, he's like burning with anger. And Guru Maharaj can perceive that, So he dies, you see, Guru Granga Radha. So then when Guru Maharaj could perceive that, he called Srila Govinda Maharaj. And Gurudev said, he hugged me like a bear hug. And he hugged me so tightly that I could not move. I'm a young man, he's an old man. And he's holding me so tightly that I could not move even slightly. And he said, and he just held me till the anger dissipated, however long that was. When the anger dissipated, then Guru Maharaj let me go, he said. He said, then I asked him, how much of your strength did you use to hold me like that, And Guru Maharaj said, hardly anything. Then after that, Guru Maharaj told him, two things you must never have. You must never have a gun, and you must never have a motorcycle. Because if you have either of those, you'll kill yourself or you'll kill somebody else. So no gun, no motorcycle. And it happened that Gurudev was saving up to buy a motorcycle when Guru Maharaj said that to him. Thought it would be, to service. The motorcycle service, that was Madhusudan Maharaj's job later on, but Guru Maharaj didn't want Gurudev to have a motorcycle. So then when Prabhupada Swami Maharaj came there, he wanted to take Govinda Maharaj with him to America. And he asked Guru Maharaj's permission, and Guru Maharaj said, yes, you can take him. But I have no money for tickets. And then Srila Govinda Maharaj is there, he said, I've got some money, Guru Maharaj. How have you got some money? So I was saving up for a motorcycle. And then you said you must never have a motorcycle. So I have this money that we can buy the ticket with. But anyway, whatever happened, Guru Maharaj became ill and he needed Srila Govinda Maharaj to be there. Guru Maharaj was so attached to Gurudev. Sometimes he would send Gurudev somewhere for some service. You know, I had to go to Calcutta or something for some service. Gurudev would be on the rickshaw going to the train station, and then on the way there he would send another brahmachari the shortcut way to intercept him. No, Guru Maharaj said you have to come back. Because he was so attached. He didn't like to let Gurudev go anywhere. But anyhow, that kind of relationship, it was a very unique relationship. More than just guru and disciple, it was something much more than that. Anyhow, so this is very difficult for the guru to be indifferent to us. It's very difficult to tolerate that. We would rather have a slap from him than that. But Gurudev not doing that. Oh yes.
Somebody told me, Maruti, she said, one time Gurudev was so angry, he coughed blood and it went on the bowl.
Hare Krishna.
So angry.
Yeah, we saw one day when Gurudev got like furious angry with Damodar Maharaj. Damodar Maharaj was in charge of the Koikali temple, and he rang Gurudev, and I just was there, in the room, and I could understand a little bit because it was all in Bengali, the conversation. But basically, Damodar Maharaj was saying, "Oh, my pujari, his father just died, so he wants to know, should he observe a period of impurity and not stay, do the service on the altar?" And generally in India, when your family member dies, there's so many days you're considered to be unclean and impure, like that, So he said, should he observe that, or what should he do? Then Gurudev's reply was, it depends what he identifies with. If he identifies with that family tradition and all those things, then he should follow that. If he identifies with Shuddha Bhakti, then not necessary to follow anything like that. He can just continue with his service. There's no impurity in the performance of devotion. So then Damodar Maharaj said, okay, I'll talk to him and I'll ring you back. So, maybe 20 minutes later or something, the phone rings again, Gurudev answers the phone. Oh, he's decided that he wants to follow, like according to his family tradition, and take however many days it was off. Then Gurudev said, okay, no problem. Then Damodar Maharaj says, can you send me another pujari, please, to replace him? And Gurudev says, well, you're going to have to talk to Tirtha Maharaj, because he's in charge of that side of things, And Damodar Maharaj and Tirtha Maharaj, they don't get along at all. So then Damodar Maharaj says to Gurudev, no, I'm not going to speak to him. I'm not speaking to Tirtha Maharaj. You please arrange, Gurudev, Then Gurudev just blew his stack completely. And he's shouting so much on the phone. I was shaking. It was so scary. And you could see he's getting redder and redder and redder, And I was like, oh, I didn't know what to do. Others were coming to hit, because they could hear what was happening. Fortunately, Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj was in a room very close by, and he came out of the room, and he's like Prahlad Maharaj to Nrsingadev. He came up, and he took Gurudev's feet, and he said, Maharaj, you have to stop now. Please stop, because otherwise you're going to have another heart attack, Just please stop. And Gurudev stopped, and And Goswami Maharaj took the phone out of Gurudev's hand and put it on the receiver and just sat there like at his feet and said, Maharaj, you must stop now. Gurudev like calmed down. And but that was really scary, seeing that anger in Gurudev. And also in Srila Sridhar Maharaj, I saw a few times when he became furious as well. It was the one time there was a lady there. Her name was Kajal. She's a local village lady, and she used to come every day and wash the pots. So this one day she didn't come unexpectedly. She didn't come to wash the pots, and the cook said, "Well, I'm not cooking unless there's clean pots, and I'm not cleaning them." So the time for offering, it came and went. And Guru Maharaj is very aware of all that, you know. He listens for the bells when they're making the offering. And he told us, he said, if the offering is late, I become sick, because we have the Lakshmi Varaha Dev Shila on the altar, and if his offering is late, then I become sick as a reaction for that. So next to his bed he has a bell, like a doorbell. Press that bell and it rings downstairs. Ring, ring. And everyone knows that Guru Maharaj is calling. Someone has to go and attend him. Srila Govinda Maharaj wasn't there at that time. And everyone they knew why Guru Maharaj is ringing the bell. Then no one wants to go. No one goes. No one goes. And the bell, ring, ring, ring. No one answering the bell. And then the bell stops ringing. That's even worse now. Suddenly there's Guru Maharaj coming down the stairs. And he's got that cane in his hand. And he's swinging that cane backwards and forwards. And his face is purple. And he's screaming at the devotees. And what I could glean from it was, he was saying, you all just get out from here. I don't need any of you to serve Govinda Sundar. I can just offer him tulsi and water and he'll be happy with that. You can all go. And again, when I was maybe 21 or 22 years old then, and I'd seen Guru Maharaj like furious like that. It was a terrifying experience, terrifying. Another time, there was one devotee, his name was Arukrama, and he'd come there. He's a disciple of Prabhupada, and Guru Maharaj is speaking, and he's got a camera with a flash, you know, and so he's every few minutes, flash, 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 and you know, it's flashing in Guru Maharaj's face, you know. And then Guru Maharaj stops his talk and says, "Who's doing this?" And I said, "It's me, Maharaj." He said, "Get out of my temple right now." And he did. He made his obeisances and he went and he just sat outside the front gate until Srila Govinda Maharaj came and said, "It's okay, Prabhu, you can come back now." Arukrama. Arukrama. He lived here in London. His wife was Krishna Dasi, and they had two kids, a girl and a boy. Krishnangini, and what was Rupa? The boy's name was Rupa. Rupa Charan, yeah. Maybe, yeah. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, Srila Govinda Maharaj came out and said, "Oh, you can come back in now, Prabhu, it's okay." Guru Maharaj even kicked Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj out of his temple. And Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj and Guru Maharaj were very close. But Krishnadas Babaji used to like to go and hear the Sahajya Kirtans, because he liked to hear the different tunes and everything. He's transcendental, he's not affected by hearing that. But Guru Maharaj didn't like that he's going to the Sahajya Kirtan, hearing the Sahajya Kirtan. And then he said, "Oh, our Guru Maharaj would not approve, you know, Saraswat Thakur, he would not approve that you would go there and hear that." Then again he went to that and he came back and Guru Maharaj said, "Where have you been?" I went here or there. You've been listening with the Sahajyas again, isn't it? Joining with the Sahajyas again. And he said, yes, Maharaj, it's true. And he said, then get out. I warned you already, now get out of my temple. He said he went out the temple, and while he's walking down the road, he bumps into Guru Maharaj's godbrother, Madhav Maharaj. And Madhav Maharaj says, oh, Babaji, where are you going? And he said, oh, Sridhar Maharaj kicked me out of the temple. Why did he kick you out? He said, because I keep going to hear the Sajya Kirtan. Madhav Maharaj said, oh, then he's right to kick you out. Anyway, they went on their way. And the next day, Gurudev's giving a talk, and sitting in the audience, Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj sitting there. And Guru Maharaj says, didn't I throw you out? And Babaji Maharaj says, yes, you did, Maharaj. But you didn't say I couldn't come back. Then Guru Maharaj said, oh, okay, fair enough, yeah. You're right, I didn't say you couldn't come back. Hare Krishna. And he would go everywhere, and he would like to sing Guru Maharaj's songs. More than the songs of Bhaktivinoda or Narottam Thakur, he liked to sing Guru Maharaj's songs in Kirtan. Babaji Maharaj.
There was other Babaji as well.
Hmm?
Nayana Sundar.
Yeah, Nayanananda Das Babaji. That was he was Satish Prabhu, his name. And he was very dear friend of Guru Maharaj, and lived in the mott for many years. Disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswat. But Guru Maharaj didn't give him Babaji. Someone else gave Babaji dress initiation to him. I don't know who. But Gurudev Srila Govinda Maharaj said he's a Shuddha Bhakta.
So if the guru doesn't chastise or give some specific service to the stock, is there a danger that the disciple might feel the guru is indifferent to him?
Maybe, yeah. That's possible, but that's what Mahaprabhu is saying in that verse. And you can be indifferent to me, but I don't have any choice. I still worship you as my Lord, birth after birth. It's your prerogative to be indifferent to me if you want to. That it happened to me, embarrassingly, shamefully, I say. That one year I stayed in Navadvip with Guru Maharaj for nearly 9 months. I stayed there, and I would come and Guru Maharaj and I would have some talk. Oh, Devashis Prabhu, you've come, like this, and you start thinking you become an intimate disciple of your guru, So then I left after the 9 months, and then I came back the following year. And when I came back to the mott, I met Sagar Maharaj there, and he said, "Oh, come, let's go and see Guru Maharaj." So I'm very eager to see Guru Maharaj. I went upstairs, and Sagar Maharaj says, "Oh, Guru Maharaj is." He says to Guru Maharaj, "Oh, Devashis Prabhu is here," and Guru Maharaj said, "Oh, he is Swami Maharaj's Shishya." Means he's a disciple of Swami Maharaj. "No, Maharaj, your disciple." So, "Oh, first and second." "Yes, first and second." "Oh, he's coming from where?" He's serving Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj. He's coming from Goswami Maharaj. No, Maharaj. And I'm like, my heart's going like, oh, he doesn't remember me, He doesn't remember me. And I'm thinking, oh no, like, I'm just walking around thinking, oh, I thought I was, that he knew I existed at least, And now he's saying he doesn't even remember who I am, So then the next day, when I went to see Guru Maharaj and he asked, "Any questions?" And I said, "Yes, Maharaj, I have a question." And at that time you had to go really close to Guru Maharaj's face so that he could hear the question. So I leant very close to him and I said, What does it mean if the guru forgets the disciple? And Guru Maharaj's reply was, "What of it? What of it?" And what he remembers, or that is what necessary, Krishna will provide him remember or not remember. What of it? He wasn't happy with my question at all. So there I was, chastened by that. No, you're not an intimate disciple. You're just a boy. That's okay. Hare Krishna. What of it?
Sometimes it's good to have this just like
Yeah.
sometimes our ego pops up and we feel that important. We are doing important service to this society.
Yeah. The thing is that the guru always has the best fortune of the disciple is his main focus, whether individually or collectively. Like Saraswat Thakur, when on his Vyasa Puja festival, he said, "Oh, you are all my saviors," he said to his disciples. "You are all my saviors that Krishna has sent to free me from this world." So he considered his disciples like that. You have all come to save me. Now this is Guru Maharaj said, the master doesn't have any utility unless he has a student. It is necessary, It's a bit for there to be a student, and the master, the guru, wants to see his disciple excel, even him. That's the greatest thing. If one disciple will show themselves to be even more than him, then he feels like my purpose is fulfilled. And that, seriously, Srila Guru Maharaj said that about Srila Govinda Maharaj. He is more than me. He is more fit for this than I am. And that's not just flattery or anything. That's really, it was his feeling. Then he felt like, my job's done. I've made at least one person. And just before his passing, Srila Govinda Maharaj said to me, when we were discussing something, he said, "What can I do, Prabhu? I cannot make another Govinda Maharaj." So, we have to remember that Srila Guru Maharaj recognized Srila Govinda Maharaj and trained him for 45 years to become his successor. 45 years. Then I said to Gurudev once, this is your blessing that Guru Maharaj has given everything to you, deposited everything in you. And Gurudev said, "Yes, Prabhu, it is true. It is a blessing, but it is also my curse."
What happened if Gurudev has given service to someone? He has to do all his life. If he wants to change it,
Well, it would depend on the
or they change
person.
themselves.
It would depend on the person.
Yeah.
And, then every devotee's life is progressive, hopefully. Every devotee's life is progressive. So something at a particular stage may not always be the appropriate thing. At one stage, the Guru may engage them in some particular way and at some particular service or whatever responsibility. But as they progress, and especially if the Guru is not present anymore, it may not always be that appropriate that they have to stay in that same service. That's like saying when you're a little boy and your mother says, "Don't go out the gate, just stay in the garden when you're playing." "Okay, mummy." When you're grown up, if then some friend knocks at the door and you say, oh, my mum said I can't go out the garden, they'll think there's something wrong with you, won't they? If you're still thinking the same thing applies when I was 5 years old and now I'm 30, my mum says I shouldn't go out the garden. No, there has to be some progression and some progress, and that may mean that our responsibility may change, our service may change. But how to know that when Guru's not present?
Then Shiksha Guru gives.
Shiksha Guru, or some advice from the senior section who have some, there are those devotees who knew Gurudev better than we know Gurudev. Then they can be relied upon. We can consult with them and they'll give a reliable answer to that question. And if that's not available, Guru Maharaj, when asked this similar question, he said, you place your imaginary picture of your Guru in front of you and you pray, please show me what I should do. And he said that voice that brought you in the beginning and said, yes, this is real, listen to that voice, because that voice won't betray you. That's your inner heart, the Chaitanya Guru. Generally, we can't rely on the Chaitanya Guru because we mistake our mind for that. We mistake our mind for our heart. But if we have no other recourse, then we must look to that voice of our heart which brought us to the lotus feet of our Gurudev and the Vaishnavas and Mahaprabhu in the first place. That won't betray us. That won't betray us. If we are sincere. So Guru Maharaj said, if you're sincere, if you're not in the market to be deceived, then nobody can deceive you. Because it's true, you may ask somebody, they may give you bad advice also. That's also possible. But then you have no other alternative but to listen to your heart. So that we all know, right? It says these three things have to be in consonance to be considered to be the absolute truth. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, right? All those, they must agree. The Guru, the Sadhu, and the Shastra, they must all agree on the same thing. But Guru Maharaj says there's a fourth element as well, acceptance of the heart. That has to be there. The heart has to say yes. Ultimately, everything is heart. Ultimately, it is true. Guru Maharaj said that. Krishna is a collector of hearts, a lover of hearts. He's not so much interested in brains. He told that to me, and I thought, yeah, that's good then. That's very good. I asked him, he gave me I have a Govardhan Shila, which Srila Maharaj gave me in 1985. And I asked him, how do I worship him? I didn't know. How do I worship him? He said, it is heart. And I heard, it is hard. And I said, it's hard? And I thought, what have I got myself into? So I'd written to him and said, can I worship a deity in my home? Can I have your permission? And I had deities of Gaurnitai and small Jagannath Baladev. That was what I was thinking. And I asked him, can I do that? And the reply came, a letter from Guru Maharaj. Harinam is our deity, no other deity necessary. But if you want to do some puja, archan puja, then we can discuss when you come. So then I came that year and I said to Guru Maharaj, I wrote you the letter, reminded him, and you said when I came we could discuss about worship of a deity. And Guru Maharaj said, yeah, I will consider. And I just thought, okay, I'm not going to ask again. And just let it be. And I thought maybe he'd forgotten about it, but then on the Govardhan Puja day, after Guru Maharaj had given some lecture that morning, and we were all going back to our rooms, and then Bhajinarayan Prabhu came. Oh, Guru Maharaj is calling for you. I said, calling for me? what have I done now? I thought, yeah. So anyway, I went up there, and Guru Maharaj is sitting on that chair with the big long arms, you know, what they call that, plantation chair or something, you know. He's sitting in that chair, and on the chair there's a white cloth there, and on that cloth is small Govardhan Shila and some Radha Kund mala made from the clay of Radha Kund. So I bowed down to Guru Maharaj, and he said, you wanted to worship, do some Archan Puja at your family deity, do that? I said, yes, Guru Maharaj. And he said, so my Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Saraswat Thakur, he liked that his Grihastha devotees would worship Govardhan Shila. So here is Govardhan Shila I'm giving you with the Radha Kund mala. And then I asked him, oh, how do I worship him? It is hard, I thought he said. And I said, it's hard? Like regretting now that I'd... And he said, no, not hard. He began chuckling, not hard, heart. Krishna, it is heart. You worship by heart. Krishna likes hearts and not so much brains. I said, oh, okay. He said, then you can just offer every day some tulsi and water. He'll be satisfied. Okay. Then I said, and he said, and whatever you eat, your family, you offer him before eating. Okay. Then I said, what about other things? Should I like bathe him and all that? And he said, no, not necessary. But if you want to, you can do. And I said, but if I start something, then I have to maintain that, right? Guru Maharaj said, no. Household deity according to your necessity you can do or not do. But minimum tulsi and water every day. So he's been with me ever since. Or I'm with him, I don't know which, but he's tolerating me. Oh, and then Bhajanaram Prabhu said, what's his name, Maharaj? The deity's name. What's his name? And Guru Maharaj sat back and he thought for a moment, and then he said, Giridhari Gopinath. His name is Giridhari Gopinath. And then he said that about 10 times. Giridhari Gopinath, Giridhari Gopinath. Everything is in this name, he said. There were three Govardhan Shilas there in the temple, which were not being worshipped by anyone. Because some devotee from ISKCON came with a sack of Govardhan Shilas and came to show Guru Maharaj. And they thought Guru Maharaj would be like, oh, Jai. But Guru Maharaj was like, oh. Shalagram, yeah, what did I say? Govardhan, not Govardhan. Shalagram Shila. Shalagram, a sack full. And also in that sack, 3 Govardhan Shilas. So then Guru Maharaj said, like very reverentially, he said to that devotee, what do you plan to do with them? He said, oh, to take them home and worship them. And Guru Maharaj said, sorry, I can't let you do that. You can't let you do that. And they took, much to that devotee's astonishment, Guru Maharaj had the sack taken off him and they were sent on their way. And those shalagrams were kept in a high part of in Krishna Sharan Prabhu's room, up in the rafters there, kept up there. So he gave 3 of those Govardhan Shilas to his disciples, and I was one of those. And the Shalagram Shilas, Madhusudan Maharaj took back to the Gandaki in Nepal and put them back in the river. But Guru Maharaj wanted that. Placed them back in the river.
Oh, this Shaligram went, isn't it? It's not there.
Yeah, we also, some ladies came here, Nepali ladies came here, and they put, what's up? Nothing? The Nepalese lady, two Nepalese ladies came here, and they asked Tosha, they had one of those takeaway containers, plastic takeaway container,
Maybe they sell momos in that.
Maybe, yeah. Anyway, inside there were two of these. It actually were three, but you could see two, and then there was a very small one as well. 3 shalagrams, and so they went to Toshan Krishna Prabhu and said, "Can we leave these here?" And he said, "No, we don't allow that." You know. Then they weren't satisfied with that, so then they asked the pujari, who at that time, I won't tell his name, not Dwarakeshwara, another devotee that sometimes does the puja. "Can we leave it?" He said, "Yeah, sure, leave them here." No problem. I came later that day, and they were just on that box there, in like plastic box on top of the donation box, and I thought they were 2 glubjamans, because they look about the size of a glubjaman, and I thought, oh, someone's left some glubjamans to offer, you know. And then when I looked a bit closer, oh no, these are Narayan Gandaki Shilas, you know. Then, oh my goodness. And then I found out like who it was that had said they could leave them here. And I said to him, "What were you thinking?" And he said, "Oh, don't worry, I can give them to my friends." I said, "No, I can't allow you to do that. I'm really sorry, but I can't allow you to do that." So anyway, they had like kumkum and flowers and all kinds of things over them. So we got a nice wooden box. Ishanuga made like a silk lining inside. I bathed them and dried them and then put them in there, and then we put them on the top of the altar. And then when I saw Madhusudan Maharaj next, I said, "Remember when you took those shalagrams back to Nepal? I've got some. Would you do it again?" He said, "Sure, yeah. Next time I'm going there, I'll do it again." So then what my godbrother Paramananda Prabhu in Thailand, he had some that he previously was worshipping, but Gurudev told him, "No, it's not our line worship of the shalagram, you know." Then, and so he wanted those to go back, and Madhusudan Maharaj had agreed to take those back too. So he told me, "When you come, bring those shalagrams with you, and they can all go to get in one place." So in Thailand, I gave them to Paramananda Prabhu, and then he I think Keshavananda Prabhu took them to India, and when he met with Tirtha Maharaj, Bhakti Prapanna Tirtha Maharaj said, "You can give them to me, I'll take care of them." So that's what happened there with Tirtha Maharaj. I got no problem with that. No problem with that. Because generally Western people don't have the sanskar to worship the Narayan Shila. Guru Maharaj said that, you know. Like in Navadvip Mott, there's Lakshmi Varaha Shila. The Grihastha devotee that was worshipping them, an Indian Brahmin, he couldn't do the worship properly, and his family were becoming sick as a result of that. And he went to so many temples and asked them, "Will you please take them off my hands?" And they all could see Varahadev, very ferocious mood, like Ugra Varaha, they say, you know. Then who will be able to worship that? Like I see some devotees, they have Nrsinga Shila, big like, you know, who can worship him? Prahlad can worship him, you know. But anyway, Guru Maharaj said, I took the Lakshmi Varaha Shila because I could see how much that Brahmin was suffering and his family. I felt pity on him. I took them. And here they are. I told the pujari, offer special sweet rice every day, then he'll be satisfied. And that's what they do. So anyway, then. But Tirtha Maharaj, he can do that worship, or whatever he wants to do. I have no problem with that at all. Tirtha Maharaj, he's a proper Brahmin, yeah. When before initiation, his name was Partha Sarati Goswami. That is his name, his karmi name, you know, if you like. Partha Sarati Goswami. Then, and his father used to come to visit him sometimes, And Gurudev would say, I become afraid when he comes because he's such a big pundit. I'm afraid when I see him, and maybe he wants to debate something with me. This is Tirtha Maharaj.
But all Sadhikam Silas has name
Yeah,
according to the.
yeah, that's right. It's when the Lakshmi Varaha Shila came, Guru Maharaj had Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj consult with him. Is it actually Varaha Dev? Because some people they don't know, and they just, make it up. But he looked. I think it's Shiva Purana or somewhere like that, or Devi Purana, where they're mentioned what the characteristics of the Shila are. They cannot be identified as what, like, avatar of the Lord they are.
Yeah, but if there is no form, then how can you?
Then that, generally, if it's just the round, they're known as Narayan Shila, just worshipped as Narayan. But there are specific others. And Puri Maharaj was considered to be the authority on Archan in the Gaudiya Mott. So he said yes, it's for our Varaha Dev.
When Tirtha Maharaj came here, he won't pass Queen's Market. It's the butcher. He go the way around.
Yeah.
Then come to the temple.
That was a very sweet devotee. So anyway, that's the story of those shalagrams. What Tirtha Maharaj will do with them, I don't know, but that's all right. He can do whatever he wants. I have no problem with that at all. My conscience is clear now.
When I went first time, Gurudev sent him to receive me. And I was talking to him like a prabhu, it was early days. Then after 5 minutes I realized he's a Maharaj.
I'm very humble devotee.
Very fascinating.
So, are they ready to do the arti? Okay, let's do that then. Jai Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sunna Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Varya Ki Jai. Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswata Acharya Brinda Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Prem.